Ogieva, Innes, Brisson, Chung, 3, 4.
This is a video I've been trying to work on for probably 2 months now. I'm trying to tie in what I've learned this summer from Bondarchuk, from Derek Evely, from non-wave load, complex programming, and what I've read years ago from John Brose and his squatting everyday method. And I want to use all that stuff I learned this summer to tie in, to use as a perceptual tool to see why I was running well in 2015, why I wasn't running well in 2016, and putting it in direct practice in 2017 to go from 14.6 in a linear fashion down in 14.2. So it's a very complicated video, partly because I'm undisciplined, so I didn't write down my workouts. So I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out what workouts I've done. So that has been very challenging just because I don't know the exact workouts I did. Then I would know because I did the same workout in the same time right before important races. But in recollection, it's hard to memorize exactly what I did. But I want to talk about this because I think Bondarchuk programming, it's very useful, and not useful in the sense that it's a separate way or a special way of creating driving adaptation, but just because there's a thesis behind it that's very important. In one of the podcasts that Derek Evely does, he summarizes what he espouses to be the take home of him talking about Bondarchuk programming and his own training insights. He says this: change is powerful. That got me thinking for a long time, because in 2016, when I was absorbing a lot of training material aimlessly, I changed a lot of things, even though I didn't know how to change it. So I know firsthand that change is very powerful. And what Derek Evely is trying to say in that change is powerful is that whenever you have a program is supposed to drive your adaptation by giving you stress so that you drop in physical condition, and then in a period of time you'll improve your initial condition. That's like the supercompensation graph we all know. But yeah, so I think Derek Evely, he gives a very good insight, because it showed me that I can't just change parts of my program without changing everything. If you change one exercise, you'll change everything. And one of the most powerful things about Bondarchuk is that it tells you when you hit peak condition. It tells you how many sessions, how much time it takes you to hit peak condition, and that's a very powerful thing. So this set of videos, this video I'm trying to work on, I'm trying to make it so that it explains how I ran 14.6 down to 14.20, even though the in-betweens didn't show that I was able to make this progress. Because at some point I decided to be faithful to the program. I decided to not change so much. I dropped, and then I was rising and I hit 14.2. So I think that's it's a real life, it's something I want to do. I want to capture an important thesis that I've internalized to get a very powerful training effect. So that's the purpose of the video. I'm still working on it. I'm working on the script. I have videos I want to show. So it's a very exciting project that's in my vault right now. I think it's going to take me a couple more days to put it out on YouTube, but I just want to make this video to show my direction, just to put the clips together and just formulate my thoughts a little bit more clear. So yeah. So for example, when I ran 14.30, that was around, when I ran 14.30, that was a Tuesday, and I knew I had a very important race on Saturday. So I did a track workout 2 days after that 14.30 race. After that, I did a quick regen session, and then the day after the regen session, I did a track workout, and it was hurdle accelerations, 3 reps of 6 hurdles, 2 feet in. After that, I went to the weight room, 6 times 2 snatch from the floor, 4 times 2 bench. And then after that, I think it was either a rest, then a French contrast, and then day after, it was the race. I think, like again, I didn't write down the workouts, which makes it very challenging to recall exactly what I did. And I ran 14.32 into negative 2.8 wind, and that was the best I ever felt that season. So when I went to Winnipeg for the Canada Summer Games, it had a similar setup. heats were on Tuesday, finals were on Saturday. So I was trying to scramble through my phone, see who I called, so I remember where I was at the time, to find out whether I did a weight session after the track workout. Now I remember I did, but when I was in Winnipeg, I didn't know if on Tuesday when I ran 14.30, whether I did a weight session or not. I figured out that I did. So on Tuesday when I ran 14.1 whatever, I immediately went to the weight room right after, and I did a 6x2 snatch and 4x2 bench. Like, just did the exact same workout. I didn't know the physiology, so I just had to like copy everything. It's like in evolutionary psychology of cognitive science, they say that when you're copying, when you see that a culture has something that you want and you don't have, you copy everything. Like when the Japanese saw that the Americans were doing something right, they copied everything.
So if your group sees that my group is doing much better, it may try to copy whatever it is that's making my group so much better. The thing is, it's difficult to figure out exactly what it is that's making my group so successful. So consider late 19th century Japan, which, going through its own industrial revolution, looked enviously towards America, which just completed its industrial revolution. Instead of just copying the specific technologies that gave America its advantage, it copied American culture wholesale, all the way down to the dress. Or consider early 20th century Turkey under Ataturk. Following World
Yeah, so like I didn't know exactly what the training effects would be, but so far it showed me that it's pretty successful. So I just copied everything. Did the same exact workout. I think the day after I ran on Tuesday, I did a regen session, and then after that it might have been a French contrast and then a pre-comp or just a pre-comp, I can't remember. But then I ran 14.20 on Saturday. I copied the exact same workout. And this kind of reminds me about the Dan Path rollover cycle where you do the exact same workouts. You have 3 workouts in a week and you just run it on days where you think you can handle it. It reminds me of that, but I'm not quite sure because I don't know enough about the program. But yeah, it's a video I'm trying to work on, and this is a prequel, a teaser for that video I'm working on, so please stay tuned.